Welcome to quarantine week number 10. Wow, it's amazing that it's been that long. We really miss you guys and wish we could be hanging out in the classroom and chatting away. Unfortunately, this is the reality we've been given. Did you hear about the pregnant lady that was in the hospital and she's sitting there, all of a sudden she goes, couldn't, wouldn't, can't. People are looking at her like, what are you saying? The doctor says, no, don't worry. Those are just contractions. Well, I wanted to share with you guys the results we got from some of the questions we asked you. 2 weeks ago, we asked you to fill out a Google form. One of the questions asked how stressed you are with the schoolwork. And you guys seem to say, hey, I'm feeling a little stressed here. You'll notice that the majority of people we're over here on the chart feeling overwhelmed. There are definitely some people in the middle and even just one person here not feeling stressed at all, but most of you are feeling pretty stressed with the schoolwork. And then one of the other questions asked, do you have enough time in your day to get all that schoolwork done? And no one said you had little to no time. Most people were over here on the plenty of time side, or you had time, but not too much or not too little, which I thought that was interesting looking at the two of these. Some people are really stressed about their work, but you have time to do it. You get time to do it. You're just feeling stressed about it. So take a breath, relax, get some shalom, some peace in you. You're going to have time. You'll notice that we've limited the amount of assignments and the amount of time that it takes to get the assignments done over the last couple of weeks. We did the national parks assignment. That only took a little bit of time to do, or should have only taken a little bit of time to do. We know you have enough time. What challenges do you have? Why are you guys feeling stressed? Well, it looks like most of it is all about motivation. Motivation and procrastination are two of the big things. You just need to get up and get started. It's difficult when you're at home. At school, you actually get up, go to school. There you are. You're in the class. You got people telling you to do things at that time. Now you don't have that. And some of you are not starting to do any work until it becomes 10 o'clock, if not even later. So those are some of your challenges, which means you're not doing a lot of schoolwork. What are you guys doing? Well, you're sleeping. That seems to be the number one thing. You guys are sleeping. And hey, look at this. You're teenagers and you're not juuling. I mean, come on, guys. Let's get on the ball with that. All right. It's difficult to get to work and get focused and to not be caught up with procrastinating and putting it off until later. So take your time, relax about being stressed, but know that you have time to get work done and you have work that needs to get done. So wake up and get started. Set yourself some goals for each of those days. It looks like, I don't know if you want to see what other people do, but most people seem to be using their Chromebooks. That was the number one method that people are using. Those Chromebooks really aren't meant to do a lot of work. One of the things that I suggest, if you can, is to get a mouse, whether it's a wired mouse, a wireless mouse, even the mouse that's connected to a laptop or another desktop. The USB can be pulled out and put into your Chromebook. Last week, I asked you guys how you were feeling, and look at this. The vast majority of people are feeling good, okay, or even great. And then I also asked you if you liked the idea of using the Nearpod, and the majority of you said that, yeah, you like that. And there were just, I think, 2 or 3 people that didn't like it. So sorry, you guys. We're going to do a Nearpod again for this week as well. As soon as you're done watching this video, you can move on to the Nearpod about revolution and seasons. We started talking about rotation and what causes day and night. And you guys did a great job knowing that the Earth's rotation is what causes day and night, that the Earth is turning or spinning. And that's what gives us our day and night. You have to be real careful with your answer, though. Notice this one up here. It says the Earth is orbiting around the sun and rotating. Yeah, the rotating is true, but as soon as you write orbiting around the sun, that's not causing day and night. So you'll get that question wrong. So be really careful about that one there. Rotating. So you can imagine over on the side that we have some The sun's rays are shining from here, and as the sun shines, that's going to cause half of the Earth to be lit and half of the Earth to be dark, and we rotate or spin into the daylight. That's this line right here represents sunrise. On the other side, we rotate into night. So the reason we have day and night is all because of the Earth's rotation. This page of notes about the Earth's rotation, which talks about the definition, the proof of the Earth's rotation, as well as the effects of the Earth's rotation, is found in Google Classroom. So if you'd like to print that out for yourself or even just download it and save it to your Chromebook, that's there for you. If you remember, we mentioned that rotation is the Earth's spin, takes place in around 24 hours. That's one day, and it spins 15 degrees an hour. You can't feel it spinning. So what evidence is there? What proof is there that it spins? We talked about three different ways that we know. And the first one is one that we visited back in September. We talked about the Coriolis effect, that the Earth's rotation causes ocean currents and winds to curve to the right in the northern hemisphere and curve to the left in the southern hemisphere. Another piece of evidence is Foucault's pendulum. Here's a diagram, an animation that shows you a pendulum swinging back and forth along the blue line. Notice the green line on the ground. Where the pendulum appears to be swinging changes because this is spinning around. And the same thing happens on the Earth. As a pendulum swings back and forth, and we see here's this pendulum, there's the string there, is swinging back and forth along this line here. That's going to change, not because the pendulum, an hour later, it's then going to swing along this line right here. Not because the pendulum's changing, but because the Earth is changing. And if that was 1 hour, then this would be a 15-degree change in that angle from swinging from where it is now to swinging where it will swing. Foucault used that pendulum to prove that the Earth is rotating. We have another thing that helps us understand that the Earth is rotating, and that's this idea of star trails. This picture was taken by someone who took their camera, they left it outside. Instead of just clicking it, they left the shutter open. You guys could download an app that does that. It's like long shutter exposure or long exposure. And you could do this exact same thing. You just leave the shutter open. It essentially takes a picture over a long time. And it appears as if these stars are moving. Now, it's not really. So there's one star. The star itself isn't moving. It's actually the Earth that's rotating. So the camera on the Earth rotates along with the stars. And you get some really beautiful diagrams and pictures with that.